Berim Tehran Gade. Yeah, my name is Diesen. I'm a professor of political economy in Norway. I'm also an editor for the journal Russia in Global Affairs. And yeah, my main research interest is Russia's Greater Eurasia Initiative. So how, after the past 300 years of a Western-centric approach to modernization, Russia's now looking more towards the east for economic and development and modernization, political partnerships. So primarily China, but also important players like Iran, which are becoming more and more important in Russian foreign policy. So yeah, for this reason, it's a great privilege for me to be invited to Iran, as I have much to learn, and it's a very important piece of this Greater Eurasian constellation.
So, do you mind if I just put yourself in the room in 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Just come back here in 2 minutes?
Yes. I'm waiting for you. Thank you so much.
Well, initially my PhD and initial work was about European security, actually, and how the Europeans engaged with Russia after the Cold War. Now, my conclusion more or less was that we were creating a Europe without the Russians. As a result, we would have more and more tensions and conflicts, and at some point even war. And the Russians would gradually begin to decouple from Europe and look eastwards for economic partners and constructing a new European security system. Now Iran is a key priority for Russia, and Europe is not. So the whole shift from west to east is now completed. So. And I think in this new Eurasian constellation, Iran is a very key node. So it's a fascinating country, and I know surprisingly little. So I'm very happy to actually be here and see what it's like. One sees that Iran becomes more and more important country every day. So for my research, it's quite interesting. But personally as well, I always wanted to come to Iran. I never been. It was my first time, so it's a great opportunity.
ما حتما از همه ظرفیت‌ها استفاده خواهیم کرد و مهمترین ظرفیت وجدان پاک و سالم و فطرت‌های دست نخورده مردم و جوانان در همه نقاط دنیا است.
We've been watching a ceremony with awards for outstanding journalists who have done a lot of important coverage, especially on the topic of the genocide in Gaza. Many of them even paid with their lives, so it's been very moving and fascinating to watch.
Hello and welcome everybody to a special edition of the SOAP Film Festival, where in this case we're going to have a panel discussion on a very important topic.
Tell us how these countries are leading the pack, so to speak, and I'm talking about Saudi Arabia, Iran, China, and of course Russia, and how that is pushing back against the US and how it wants to impose itself in the region specifically.
I think what you're seeing more from China is exactly that it's not a unipolar power, it's not a hegemonic power, it's a world order it's pursuing is more multipolar. So given that you have this, you don't really need the alliance system. So from the Chinese, but also the Russian perspective, because they want, for example, better relations with Iran, but also with the Saudis, they don't want to alienate the other. You see that they're pushing for, they have incentives to use economic connectivity to bring the countries together. And you see this also with the expansion of BRICS. I mean, you get, the transition period will be largely defined by chaos. That is, people have different vision of the world order they want. The world's being pulled in different directions, but overall the larger trend is going from a hegemonic system to a more multipolar balanced system. So if we can get through that transition without any world war, I think the world would be a much better place. Well, we're spending the day here at the festival, and thereafter we're going to explore Tehran for a bit, look at the actual city, which will be lovely because so far only been at the festival and the hotel, so we get to see something different.
Berim Tehran Gardi. That's it.
Yeah. Berim Tehran Gadi.
Thank you so much.
سالن از گنجینه تمام اکثر هنرمندای بزرگ سینمای
This salon is full of the treasures of our artists in cinema.
که اطراف اگه نگاه کنیم باکسایی رو می‌بینید که هنرمندان حالا پیشگام سینما یا اون فرهنگ سینما تو این باکس‌ها جمع
Love the building as well, though. It's yeah, beautiful. The architecture is quite unique in Iran. Yeah. I am very happy. I get to hold an interview in Iran, so this is good news.
On your phone all the time?
Oh no, sorry, I'm texting Marandi. So yeah. Sorry, I have to text him again though. I think probably best to define a country by its culture and its history, but of course the politics is also quite important, but often you find that the politics to a large extent reflects the culture and the history. I like more classical arts and any art linked to history. Just, yeah, I find personally most interest in history. So, well, in European arts I usually like paintings from the 19th century. So yeah, initially after industrialization, when you have the whole theme of industry versus nature, I find this to be, well, that's my personal favorite at least.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Say Berim Tehran Gardi. Say it.
Berim Gad... No, wait, 1 second.
Berim.
Berim Tehran Gadi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
ماشاءالله به دخترها میگفتیم. ماشاءالله به جون.
Are in Tajrish.
Tajrish, yeah,
One
yeah,
of
it's
the
good.
oldest markets in Tehran.
Tadrij, yeah.
What surprises you the most in Iran since you arrived here?
Maybe people a bit friendlier than I thought. Very people right now, well, everyone you meet is very polite here and friendly. Much more at home, not friendlier here than at home. So I guess this is a bit, yeah, surprising. Well, it shouldn't be. We have Iranians in Europe and they're always friendly, so that maybe it's an Iranian thing. So yeah. Yeah, this is.
گفتون چنده؟ Each kilo 31 euros.
Oh, awesome.
You have that in Norway as well? Dried fruits like this?
Well, we don't have French at all, so.
No, dried fruits.
Oh yeah, but not. This looks fresher. So.
What you can find it here.
Black tomato. Really, black tomato.
I know.
Okay.
Hello. How are you? May I put it? Thank you so much. What's your parent here?
The topic you mean?
Topic.
Yeah, it's on Europe alignment with American policies.
Domestic and foreign policy. What did they tell you?
Europe's alignment with US policies. So I'm wondering.
Diesen.
Good day. All right.
It's good to meet you, by the way. I'm well aware of your work and watched lots of interviews with you.
Oh, thank you.
Is this your first time in Iran?
Yeah. You've been before? Okay.
No, first time. Wanted to go for a very long time.
Yeah, me too. But it's when it's one of those things you need a reason to go in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
یک فرصت تاریخی هست برای دانشگاه تهران که در مورد موضوع بسیار مهمی که رهبر حکیم انقلاب در نامه سومی که به عزیزان ما، جوانان ما در امریکا و اروپا خطاب کردن ازش صحبت بکنیم و به خصوص فرمودن که شما در طرف درست تاریخ قرار گرفتید.
Importantly, is international law can only really exist when there's a balance of power in the world. If you have one center of power which is unconstrained, it simply wouldn't constrain itself. And the entire framework of international law is, again, based on sovereign equality and mutual constraints. And this is something we've seen being replaced with the principle of sovereign inequality and the idea that peace is created by the West being able to assert itself without constraints. But I think the thing that really has broken the legitimacy now, as my colleague Baraka suggested, is Gaza, because in this instance, under the guise of liberal hegemony, the political West seems to be in solidarity to back now what is a genocide. And it's very hard to deny that it's not a genocide, especially when Israeli leaders are saying it quite openly what their intentions are. Indeed, who we call the leader of the free world, which is apparently Donald Trump, even suggests now that every man, woman and child should be ethnically cleansed out of Gaza. It's very hard to see how this conforms with, again, how we legitimized this liberal empire to begin with. And well, let me just finish by thanking you for inviting me to the country and to your university. It's been extremely educational and fascinating. So thank you again for your time.
So we would like to award our dear guest with the Right Side of History Award. Thank you very much.
Well, I talked a bit about how a lot of Israel's crimes in the region has been possible because of the unconditional support it gets from the United States. And I think a lot of this has been made possible under the so-called liberal hegemonic era. And my main argument was that this would eventually exhaust itself, and we've seen this now. The power has exhausted itself, the legitimacy for it has also exhausted itself. So we see now new centers of power emerging, also challenging what has been effectively the status quo over the past few decades. So a very new era we're entering. And of course received some lovely award, which I very much appreciate. So thank you so much.
And you have an appointment with Mr. Marandi?
Yeah.
On your phone all the time?
Oh no, sorry, I'm texting Marandi. So yeah. Sorry, I have to text him again though.
And you have an appointment with Mr. Marandi?
Yeah, now in 5 minutes. So.
Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
These guys aren't letting you live, huh?
Sometimes we're getting wired.
My name is Vahid. I'm head of the documentary department.
Okay.
I'm in charge of these guys. Hello. Here your house. Glenn Diesen.
Hi, Glenn.
Bush. Sorry for the wait. We can go ahead and go in.
Yeah, sure.
But you can just a little brush.
Okay, Dr. Diesen, what we are going to do now? The studio
the Press TV was generous enough to let me use their studio to do an interview with Alistair Crook and Professor Sayed Marandi. So no, it's great. Yeah, I've interviewed them both several times before, but this will be the first time in person. So yeah, it's very grateful.
Awesome, thank you.
So listen, Glenn, since you will be sort of hosting the thing, 40 minutes.
40?
40?
Okay, sure.
Is that okay?
Do someone signal me when it's time to start wrapping it up? Or?
Yes, we'll be saying, cut your
That's finished? Oh, thank you so much, by the way, for landing in the studio. I appreciate it.
How did you know Mr. Marandi?
Well, I've spoken to him many times before. I do a podcast on the side, and I interview him quite frequently. He's actually one of my favorite guests, and also, if you want to know anything about Iran, I usually go to Professor Marandi. So. Hi everyone, welcome to today's program. I'm joined by two of my favorite analysts, Alistair Crook and Professor Sayed Marandi. And well, this podcast is a bit different from our usual ones, as we're doing this in person, and also we're broadcasting from Iran, its capital, Tehran.
What was the purpose of NATO, and how do you think it has changed from when it was and from now, right now, at the moment?
Well, when NATO was formed, the NATO Secretary General at that time said the purpose of NATO was to keep the Americans in Europe, to keep the Russians out, and to keep the Germans down. And I don't think that much has changed since that time. That is, NATO after the Cold War, it facilitates American hegemony in Europe. It marginalizes Russia as the largest European country to a non-European country, and it makes sure that Europe won't be too influenced by Germany. So I think that original purpose still works.
What is your greatest hope for the future of the world?
My greatest hope is that we change some of the assumptions we had over the past 3 decades. That is, under the unipolar order or under global hegemony, peace was seen to depend on the United States and political West being able to dominate. In other words, you don't have to take into consideration the concerns of China, Russia, Iran and others. Security depends on being overwhelmingly powerful and being able to ignore their security concerns. So I think we need to shift dramatically and recognize each other's security concern. I think this is, once your opponents are safe, you will be more safe. And I think we have to return to this concept of indivisible security. At least that's my great hope, that we don't make enemies out of the Chinese, the Russians or the Iranians. There's no reason for this.
If you could say just one sentence to the next generation, what would you say?
Don't hate your adversaries.
How many people are listening to you?
Well, now because I'm in Iran, I just uploaded some clips to keep the show going. But it's yeah.
Okay.
But it's like before I left for the past 3 weeks, it was between 200,000 and 300,000 watching every day.
I kept saying, well, I need John to sit up the other night.
That would be a great idea, actually. Then I overcome that problem.
This song is great. Cool.
Yeah?
How do you feel?
Oh, very good.
Do you want to buy anything from here?
Yeah, I was going to bring some
For your children?
gifts to my kids. Yeah.
So good.
Does it seem interesting to you?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Especially this one, for example. Made by hand. All of them. Yes.
How much is a chessboard?
Do you play chess like this?
Yeah, but all my kids go to chess school, so
really?
yeah.
Oh, like Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah, but yeah, all my kids
Taiwan.
go to chess school, so chess classes. So I thought maybe it's an
Now we are
appropriate gift.
bargaining to get discount.
Oh, for that?
Yeah. It is being made. Do you see? This is the process totally that I said it is being made by hand. Yeah, this is a way. POC.
The problem is you can't step on it then, you know? Like it's,
This one is for 90 years.
That was the question?
Yeah, there's a question, sorry. And since we are in Bazaar and it's like backbone of this country and this city in economy, what do you think has been impactful on economy from NATO, and how does NATO impacted economy around the world?
Well, the sanctions, not just against Iran, but other parts of the world, it has two purposes. Traditionally, sanctions are meant to create economic pain for the reason of getting the country to accept political concessions. That is, the economic pain is only supposed to be a means to an end. But we also do see that economic sanctions are often used simply to weaken key adversaries. So this is why we see, even after a lot of problems have been resolved, that nonetheless the sanctions will continue, because it's believed that it can perpetuate the weakness of rivals. So this is why many sanctions do not fit the traditional definition in terms of purpose.
And does it make so much pressure on other countries, because it's kind of a bullying tool to make other people do what they want based on using the sanctions?
Well, the sanctions has a dual effect. On one hand, countries they suffer and they have to find ways to adjust. But the other consequence is that states learn to decouple and learn to live without the state that sanctions. This is why sanctions often works in moderation and when they're temporary. When we see harsh sanctions over a long period of time, countries adjust to it. So they create different payment systems, different sourcing of technologies, industrial goods. So this is kind of the price one pays for prolonged sanctions.
How was your trip in general?
Educational. Got some good overview over the key issues, but not just the political, but it was very interesting to get more of an insight into the culture and history of Iran as well.
Thank you. And do you have any certain memory from your trip?
Many of them. It's hard to pick which one. So a lot of days which starts early and finish late. So meet very interesting people and introduced to interesting issues and topics. So.
Thank you very much and have a good journey.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.